Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here. Sorry about my eye being all reddish. It's just I was itching it a little bit and I kind of made myself have a itchy red eye basically. So I'm doing okay. I rubbed it a little too much and I just got irritated. But it's okay. I'm just taking eye drops for it. So pretty much I'm returning to you tonight for this Rebel Moon Part 2, The Scargiver, that I got a chance to watch for myself for this next Netflix film, which I didn't watch it on Netflix, keep in mind, because I have no desire to subscribe to Netflix due to them supporting criminal sympathizers, in a way, and basically, they're a bunch of weird fucks over there, too. So, pretty much, I'm going to discuss what I watched for this 2 hour and 3 minute movie, or almost 4 minute movie, for Rebel Moon Part 2, The Scargiver, and let you know my thoughts on this movie overall. So let's dive into this movie review. Now, basically, the whole story and the premise of it, it's just basically the sequel to the first part. It's another Zack Snyder film, and to be honest, not really that great of a film. It's kind of bad. It's probably worse than the first part. And the first part was slightly disappointing. The story doesn't really introduce anything of value. Like, sure, they're fighting the dreadnought, trying to save a planet, but the one-liners and just to fight, to find, and to fight, the ending to that is so cringy. It's like, what the fuck is this? And then there was one guy that was saying, to fight and to die. Well, fight and die, or whatever. Or something, and it was like, what the fuck? So there was a lot of liners in here from certain actors and actresses. That was so cringy, and it made the movie unbearable of a watch. Like, the action scenes were pretty strong. The execution of the movie, pretty flat and very weak. So this is not one of my favorite films of this year. It's probably worse than A Child of Fire, and that was the first part of the whole series. Like, I'll give The Child of Fire credit where it's due. The ending was suspenseful. The ending to this one, not really something amazing. Like, yeah, they won against the Noble guy, Atticus Noble, and he did die at the end of the film. But and they lost a few comrades in this film, but the execution for the performances and some of just the liners that they were thrown, the story was poorly written, keep in mind, and just seems too rebellious and too juvenile of a story, and it's like, okay, yeah, we've seen movies like this, but it's not comparing anything to something I do like. This is just a horribly written story, and it's just the premise doesn't really hype you up in any way, and it just falls flat. The execution was the main thing with this film, and it poorly executed in the worst way possible. So if I were to give part 2, The Scargiver by the Rebel Moon movie, a score, its deserved score, it's going to get a 5 out of 10. It's very weak. It's a lot weaker than the first part. And I was really disappointed with this one because the action sequences were interesting, but it was just the one-liners and just what they were given on their scripts and their parts for their roles. It was cringy. It was cringy writing for some of the characters' narration and all that shit. So, wasn't that impressed with this film, and it can go fuck itself. For sure. So, with that being said, I just think Zack Snyder's newest films are pretty weak and pretty disappointing, and this was pretty much a cluster fuck and just a big fuck you to the audience saying, oh, we're giving you a shitty movie. So with that being said, 5 out of 10 for Rebel Moon, Part 2, The Scargiver, one of the worst films I've seen this year. Probably not the worst film, but it is one of the bad films of this year. And with that being said, thank you for watching this movie review tonight. Have a good night.